Greetings, family. Today, I'm bringing you the blueprint. The blueprint, you understand? Understand, overstand all obstacles. So today, people are facing troubles in their life and understand your world is not coming to an end. Your world is beginning. This is the beginning of a cycle. This is a new cycle of life, you understand? And I got the blueprint to teach y'all. So I want y'all to pay attention to the blueprint because this is you getting from the plug. You understand? I am the plug, you understand? So I'm plug straight from source. This is the blueprint of what's going on with your life right now. So y'all tap in, each one teach one. Y'all press that like button, subscribe button. Understand this. Like I'm gonna have this book, Black Root Science, on my websites for free, so y'all can just go tap in and download the book if y'all actually want it though. For right now, while I'm building a website up, y'all can just ask for it. But y'all understand this right here though. The ancient cities, and this come from history itself. Understand this come from divine prophecy. This is divine prophecy. So the ancient society had 12 countries spread over the earth. So understand we had 12 countries. Okay. We divided it down, right? Each country was divided into 6 clans. Each clan was further divided into 100 districts. And each district had 10 towns. Each town was led by 2 judges, and there was 144,000 judges in total. And we have already said each judge was given 1,000 people to lead, and the population became 144 million. The 24 elders then said to all people, multiply and fill the earth. You will live for 7,000 years. Each person will replace himself or himself before passing. So understand this, like y'all tap to your power, we can live way longer, 7,000 years. You understand? This is better programming for your mind, better beliefs. You understand? This is a better manuscript for your mind than what they've been giving you. You understand? So each one teach one. So this is each couple was married, right? Each couple married will have 2 children. Here's where it becomes difficult for us black people to accept who we really are. We say, how can a person live for 7,000 years? After all, doesn't my my bad. I said after all, doesn't teach us that the whole creation is barely 6,000 years. So y'all gotta think about this. The other people, that's why I had to pause because I was trying to have a name, but I'm gonna say they. Like the other people try to tell you about your creation, like they they ain't up the part. Like this is up the part right here. So you have to tap in though. And rather than have saying that they have calling themselves creationists, the other half who you think about say the same thing in several words, in different words. They say that we only apes before modern people, who they call Homo sapiens, are only some thousand of years old. Same story, same lie. But going back to the question of lifespan, doesn't it say in ancient writing that man's lifespan was much longer than it is today, lasting about 1,000 years? Let me go inside, go to the website, scroll down so y'all can see. Y'all can see with me. Uh-oh. We'll go back to it. My bad, family. Until I tapped out of it. Won't go back. Go back into it. I remember. I remember. I remember. Okay, they said last for 1,000 years. All right. If it was 1,000 years, 6,000 years ago, and the climb couldn't even have decreased from a much longer span. Our teachers say that a normal lifespan of a black person is 7,000 years. They give a reason why that is so. We'll explain the reason at another time. After the God say, multiply and fill the earth. Every person found his or her soulmate, got married, and had 2 children. After 1,000 years, the population had doubled. The children grew, become mature and responsible adults, got married, and had 2 children per family, just like their parents though. But like right now, we trying to get to the 1 billion mark right now though, so we can have many children like right now until we get back on one accord. Like y'all feel free to have y'all children though. I'm not saying to have children right now, like this two to a household is good to go and practice this, but if you having more, it's okay because we're trying to get these numbers to 1 be 8 million and we're rising. We're rising to the 1 be 8 million though. Each one teach one. And I love it. I love it. Understand? Understand that. They have restrictions on population growth, restricting each couple to only 2 children. A justly organized society must have population control. That is the only way for long-lived people to avoid overpopulation. You'll notice I said a justly organized society. Understand that. Modern society is not justly organized. Its organization's favors to the light races. So population control is a negative word. More than that, it's an evil concept in the hands of white people designed to try and exterminate the black population. The ancient called it population stabilization, and it's the popular opposite of popular population control, as it is practiced today. The first is the faster a comfortable life, and the latter is used to fill genocide. But to continue, after the children had their children, the population tripled. The grandchildren grew up and gave birth to the fourth generation. The fourth generation gave birth to the fifth, and the fifth gave birth to the sixth, and the sixth gave birth to the seventh, and the total population started with first generation of the 144 million was now 7 times 144 million, 7 times 144 million multiplied to 1 billion 8 million. That's the 1 billion 8 million. That's all of us, right? This is all of us. 1 billion 8 million. Because I'm one of the 1 billion 8 million personalities. I'm one of the 144,000 chosen ones. You understand? I'm I'm one. You understand? So it's plenty and it's multiple of us. You understand? We just gotta understand ourselves, our personality with the one mind. Understand who we are. Each one teach one. I'm gonna say this truth because I love it. 6,000 years have passed since the beginning. This became the fixed and stable population of the nation because when the next generation of 144 million was born, the first generation passed away, having lived 7,000 years. This is how our society began. And this part of our society is called How God Became 1 billion 8 million people. These are the same 1 billion 8 million individual people, black people alive today. That's you and me. We are the end of the cycle called the cycle of YT. We are soon to begin a new cycle where the society begins their original organizations under the leadership of the 24 kings and queens. So each one teach one again. Press that like button, subscribe button. And this is just some question like somebody asked out of this chapter right here though. Like this the Black Root Signs though. If y'all don't have the Black Root Signs and y'all are seeking for the Black Root Signs, please ask for the Black Root Signs and y'all go to my website. It's gonna be on my website. Y'all go to my website. It's gonna be on my website, and you can go download the PDF for free. And y'all can get this blueprint for free. You understand? Knowledge and apply this to your mind and apply it to your life and live it. You understand? And create our vision and detail. You understand? This is the detail of our minds that we're creating to reality right now. So y'all just press that button and understand, overstand, overcome this obstacle. Your world is not coming to an end. Understand? Like, don't be distracted by the distractions because they want your mind and your focus somewhere else and understand this is new beginning right here. Like this is new beginning. I'm just read over the message. The lifespan of the ancient black people. Just wanted to thank you for sharing this wealth of knowledge. It's most appreciated. Also, with regard to population control during our lost culture, what are your views, if any, on the ideal that some Nubians have today with having as many children as possible, as opposed to limiting to, let's say, 2 children per couple, as has been advocated by people such as Dr. Francis? Many argue that limiting the number of children will only further weaken us by reducing our overall numbers in our battle against white supremacy. That has therefore we should procreate as much as possible, strengthen numbers, so to speak. I say, and I agree. Like it's just like I was saying earlier, we are reaching into the 1 billion, 8 million before we have structuralized the population stabilization. So we get the 1 billion, we're gonna apply this stabilization, right? And we're gonna start having two children per family. But it's ways to it ways like you understand that polygamy is also in. So we're gonna go to polygamy now. Like since we're here, we're gonna go to polygamy, and we're gonna go to the polygamy part. Oh, okay. Like, cause you can have multiple families, right? Like you can have multiple families. Like you can have two in this household family. You have two in this household family. You can have many families. So we're gonna go to the polygamy part. We're gonna go to search. Let's see. Go to search and let's see. We got search on here. And I might check my phone. Well, y'all, 1 second with me real quick. I'm gonna check my phone and identify it because I don't see no search up there. I'm gonna go find this on my phone and search it. We're gonna go to polygamy. So y'all bear with me. Y'all take a breather. I'm outside the nation. It feel lovely today. You understand? So I get a breather with me too. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling out the nose, exhaling out the mouth. Feel the rhythm of the universe. Feel the rhythm. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. Gratefully, thankfully, peacefully. Nature, nature, nature. Let me tell y'all about yesterday. I saved the spider yesterday. Somebody was deep down in their feelings about me saving this spider. And I was telling them, like, you are talking to God about killing God. Like I said, she's talking about you kill nature. I was like, it's okay for you to glorify killing nature, but don't do it around me. And don't think I'm gonna participate in it. Like, cause that really was like they thought I was gonna kill the spider for him. I let the spider go. That's the whole reason I came to the spider attention to tell the spider to go. Go. Somebody seeking for your dismissal. Black root signs. Yeah, I tap into the black root signs and put it on the website and go search it. Cause we me want to talk about polygamy too. Okay, because this one a lot of people's attention though, so we should bring out it out on the blueprint too, or so that the blueprint had this in history, like it's in history. I'll tap in. With the polygamy. Okay. I think we on page. Let's go with page 30. Page 30, we talk about the polygamy. Let me see what did it say. It said the estimate total number of star systems in universe of 125 billion trillion as I described in one of the posts as astronomy slash physics. The God sends 144 settlers from the first Earth every 7,000 years to inhabit the star system, most of which have Earth-like planets. This is how our Earth was first inhabited 78 trillion years ago by 144,000 of our ancestors who came from another star system, When the entire universe is inhabited by black people, then the universe will attain its purpose and will continue to an end and be replaced by a new one. 1 second. Greetings.
Hello.
Apologies for a new one. This has been going on without beginning and will never end. The full age of the universe at the time will be about 875 trillion years. Okay, that wasn't about the polygamy though, so I might need to go check back on this phone. It was that was meant for the end though, cause that's the only reason it happened right there. Yes, I understand how the universe works. Universe is school you right, school me right in front of you. Like so, y'all just tap in. Cause we finna go to the polygamy part, but the universe wanted to point that out too. Want to point that out? Now we take a little scroll up. Now we can go to the polygamy part. Let's see how much we're gonna read. Okay, you said okay, we're gonna read right here. So you probably seen photos of how African tribes mutilated their faces as part of their customs. Have you ever wondered why did they have paintings on their faces and why they did things to their faces? Like so, yeah, understand this right here. It had to do again with the light races and their evil slavery. When enslaving black people, they they logically chose the strongest and the most beautiful men, women, and children. Economics dictated that they would get the highest prices for the best of our people. To counter this evil, many tribes adopted customs of mutilation to make themselves ugly and undesirable. A drastic step, you'll agree, but it worked. Many survived who otherwise would not have. No long after the days of slavery, those customs are still practiced because people have forgotten the original reason. When they are reminded, they become adamant and say, "We must do it because our ancestors did it. We cannot go against their will." So it is that we still have some customs that are no longer justified. Said, "Good grief, Black Root. The incredible information has spawned yet another wealth of questions that I have. I hope you be able to answer some. What in the ideal is parting the geniuses all about? I heard that from Fard Muhammad was actually a member of one of the lighter races. Is that true? I'm assuming that when you tackle the issue of Jacob, that you'll then address how the light races arrived and how their emerges and connect with the current patriarchal rule. How will the black people repair the genealogical damage to our bloodlines done by the social invasions of the lighter races? Peace and please keep informing us. It's great. The sense in which I use the word light race does not mean the same as light skinned black people. There are many black people with light skin, as you will know. Some are light they come past for white, yet they are black people. For Muhammad is the son of a black man and a white woman. That makes him a black people in America. And they are not of the light races. The light races were made in a very specific way to remove every bit of dominant dark gene that was in them. They were made in four stages such that the entire period of their making lasted for exactly 666 years. Understand the codes and numbers and how long it took them to program these themselves to be a white people and what they did was loose. They were doing experiments with people. Black people made them by removing the dominant dark gene from themselves. You ever seen making a bando? Like they went further into making a bando. People, you understand? They like for real. Like my ear popping right now. Spirit just like pop, pop, pop. But every black person had two types of rep, 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 reproductive genes. One that is dark and one is dominant, and another that is light and recessive. There is a method of suppressing the dominant gene, thereby allowing the recessive one to become predominant. When this procedure, okay, so when this procedure occurs in a uncontrolled and accidental manner, the resulting child is an albino. But a black albino is not the same as a light race person because albinos still have the dark gene in them. It is simply suppressed at conception. In the case of the light races, the dark gene is completely absent. That's the reason light races people cannot give birth to a black child. Talking about ears popping. Like I got a spiritual download going on right now. Y'all just bear with me. I'm getting a download while I teach y'all teach one. I'm getting a download. My ear popping. It's popping. It takes exactly 7 generations to completely breed out the dark gene. In the first of the 4 seasons, with our our present lifespan, 7 generations is approximately 200 years. If you take a single generation to be about 28, 33 years, in other words, on average, a 600-year-old person is a grandparent because the parent of a 30-year-old who is in turn the parent of a young child. So on average, a new generation is born every 28 to 33 years. It makes some generation approximately 200 years. That's exactly how long it took to make the first light race. The people called Hispanics, Latins, and Greeks. The second race, the Arab, Jews, and other Middle Westerns. Today, about 200 more years to be bred from the first race. After about 200 more years, the third race, the yellow race, were bred out of the second. Altogether, it took 600 years. Then the second 66 years after that, the first white babies were born. They were bred from the yellow race, meaning that the four light races were completed after 666 years. Hence, it is said that the number of these beasts is 666. I'll address the matter of Jacob much later. Your other question can wait for a while, right? They got plenty of questions for him. We ain't even got to the polygamy part. Your question is extremely important. It goes to the very roots of the definition of a black person. This is scientific method by which is known who is black and who isn't. By scientific, I mean true and ancient science, not modern science. It's not possible to determine the true race of a person using modern biological genetic methods, except in the most obvious cases. There is only one way that is infallible in this respect. But before I get to that, let me address you very reasonable question on the motives of a light-skinned black person like Ford are compared to those of another light-skinned black man such as Ramses. Ramses lived at a time when white people were ascending the scales of steps of power and affluence, and black people were descending. Many mixed race people like him sided with their white ancestry. Even though such people are black, I'll describe at the end of this message why it is that a person of half black, half white percentage is actually black. Even a person of one-fourth black, three-fourth white percentage. I already touched on this yesterday when I mentioned that it takes 7 generations to totally remove a black person's dark gene. Now, the mixed race blacks in ancient Egypt sided with whites because that they thought this where the brightest future lay in terms of power and influence. They were not negatively impressed by the corruption and deceitfulness of these people, even when it was clear to their unmixed brethren and fellow citizens the same phenomenon was prevailing in apartheid South Africa just a decade or two ago. The mixed race blacks called coloreds, which means color reds, did not want anything to do with native blacks. Even the darkest of them denied their blackness. The reason was just as simple. The economic future in their short-sighted view laid in the direction whites were going, and this who they followed. I'm sure you can think of similar situations in America. Tap in. Now, Fard Muhammad not only had the largest foresight possible, but he also had the hindsight of the true history of blacks and whites. He was raised, taught, and initiated so that he would gain the expanded viewpoint of the nature of reality and not be blinded by the glimmer of white civilization. That this is factually true can be seen from his teachings and achievements. He was the catalyst for a sense of pride in self and ancestry that had not been seen in other people. And for very many centuries, it's unfair, from my point of view, for people to reject the truth because of the conversations, controversies associated with the organization he and Elijah started. As you can see from my perspective, the way a black person is raised and taught determines his or her attitudes toward the true nature of both blacks and whites. This is not determined by the shade of his black skin, whether it's on the lighter or darker side, but on the larger question, the way to determine who is a black person is not by looking to see whether or not they side with other black people or prefer abandon their own and live in the white life. So to speak, black people who behave like that are still black, whether we like it, what like them or not. They are a part of the total population of 1 being 8 million. I'm trying to see where the polygamy part is. The number of total people in black people in existence, they may sound strange if you consider the size of the universe, as well as all universes that have ever existed, but this is the total number of gods. I'll explain that at another time. They are called the original people or first gods. As I said before, each god is incarnates again and again, endlessly. Me and you and every black person are their incarnation. They are called our first self. Every black person from the lowestly pygmy or Hottentot to the highest leader of the including every Uncle Tom in the incarnation of one of the gods. When a God incarnates in a light in a new black life, the 24 elders keep a keep a record of that birth and give the people his or her eternal name. Thus, every black person has an eternal name. When all these guys are incarnated, there will be an awakening wherein every black person will only remember his or her eternal name. But the name of everyone else, we have incarnated time and again, since forever and known each other closer than you know your own mother, child, brother, and sister today. Each black person had each black person has what is called the mind of God, which my people call ancestry memory. The mind of God, our ancestral memory stretches all the way along the lineage of ancestry back to our first self, to your first self. As you were at the creations of our universe, the mind of God, our or ancestry memory is unconscious in us, except when it's awakened by initiation ritual. But it's totally and always conscious in the 24 elders. Therefore, they are the final arbiters and judges of who is or not black for as long as we remain asleep under the hypnosis of Yati. When we awaken, then each one will know him or herself as one, as all others as we know each one since eternity. This is the only true way to determine the racial identity of all people on earth. Y'all press that like button. Y'all remember, if y'all stay to the end, you ever see the prize, so that means you see the prize of the website. And the website will be in the link. Website will be in my page. If you don't get the website, ask for it. If you want the Black Root sign, ask for it. Like, and feel free to seek this knowledge and understand this knowledge, overstand this knowledge, and apply it to life. I say, please do. I feel great today too out here. Feel grace, peaceful, sad. You understand? A little loud right now. I got a little noise, but I'm gonna catch a phone call and I'm gonna post my videos. See you around soon. Each one teach one. Day one studio. I mean, one studio. It's one studio LLC. I got my LLCs, and I got beats. I got beats. One beats. So y'all tap into the energy. Tap into your inner God and be free. Peace. 111. It's the time I end video.